Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a hotel. By the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my various house tutorial playlists. Odds are, if you like the hotel, you'll be able to find plenty more things that you like in those playlists. But moving on to the hotel itself, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need some block of quartz. Also, grab yourself some blue stained glass, and finally, grab yourself some white stained glass paint. And those are the only three materials that you're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off your hotel with a row of 19 block of quartz in a row on the floor. That's 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Just like that. And once you have your row of 19, this is what you want to do next. So starting from the left hand side, going from left to right on top of this row, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 block of quartz, 5 blue stained glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 block of quartz, then 5 blue stained glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 block of quartz. You guys get the idea then. 5 blue stained glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1 block of quartz to give you a row which should look a little bit like this. Oh, and I should mention this, guys, because I know a lot of you like to know this information. Where is the entrance going to go? You're probably wondering. Okay, so let's say that this is the back wall of our hotel here. This is actually the back wall of our hotel. And if we want the front of the hotel to be this side, so we're kind of like, this is where the front's going to be, that's the very back wall. The entrance to the hotel is going to lie roughly here and here, because we're not going to get to that until quite a bit later, and I know that quite a few of you guys like that information. So imagine those two rows are where the back walls of the hotel are going to be. The entrance is going to be where that quartz block is placed, and where that one is placed as well, just to give you guys a bit of an idea how you should place this thing. Let's continue on. So what you then want to do, once you've done that second row right here, is on top of this row that you've just formed, you're going to want to do this 2 more times. So you basically just want to do the exact same thing that you've already done 2 times. So just take out your quartz and your dark blue, and you just want to replicate what you've made 2 more times. So just going from left to right, fill in that exact same row 2 more times. Once you have 3 of that row right there, the next row just wants to be entirely quartz block. So just put quartz directly on top of it, like that. And that will give you something which should look exactly like this, guys. Now, once you have one of these, what we essentially want to do is we want to stack this on top of itself a total of 3 more times. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, to put this in how I usually tutorial these things, you want to go on top of each one of these vertical quartz blocks, each by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you want to connect each one of those quartz blocks together, like this. So you just want to end up with this shape. Now, we want to do that now 2 more times. So I'm now just going to do that 2 more times again. So on top of each one of the vertical quartz blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just want to connect each one of those 4th blocks together once again. So to give us, whoops, what am I doing there? Get rid of that. To give us 3 rows of the same thing. We just want to do it 1 more time now. So let's go on top of each one of the vertical quartz blocks again by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then of course we just want to connect each one of those 4th blocks together, just like this. And this is what we want to have, guys. This is the back wall of our hotel. And what we now want to do, guys, is, you know what, we'll actually wait until later to fill in the rest of the rows. The bottom section is actually somewhat unique, and we'll wait until later to fill in each one of those windows that we formed on the back. It will just be easier. So, what do we want to do next? You're probably wondering to yourselves. Well, we want to take out our block of quartz, and we now want to take each one of these corner blocks of our quartz framework that we have right here, and there's loads and loads of them, guys, and we want to extend them coming towards us each by 6. Let me show you what I mean. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm sure that you guys get the idea from here. We want to take each one of these quartz blocks and we just want to extend them coming out towards us by 6. Now, of course, if you wanted the front of your hotel to be on the opposite side, then you wouldn't do it on this side. You would extend out from the other side. It'd be as easy as that. I'm getting some of these rows wrong. I have to go back to counting, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Evidently, I can't count properly whilst I'm talking about something else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So what we now want to do, guys, is we then want to connect each one of those 6 blocks together to make a big giant grid shape, which is exactly what we're going to do. So let's just connect each one of these blocks together to form a very large, nice grid shape. So that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. So let me just do that. And then we can move on to the next bit. This bit's a little bit tedious. Yeah, I was trying to, like, explain stuff and count at the same time, but as you guys could see, I was failing miserably. That didn't work out well at all. But we're actually not too far away from completing the framework of the hotel. This back part is probably the bit that takes the most amount of time. But it's all very easy, this hotel. It's all really easy to make. It's just that it will take a while when we get to certain points to fill in the particular walls and to fill in the little terraces and the big giant pointy bit that's going to come out of the front and what have you. But fundamentally, it's a very simple design, and hopefully you guys shouldn't get too confused at any point of what we're doing. So what you want to end up with is something that should look exactly like this. A big giant, kind of like a section of a Tetris cube, I was about to say. A big giant section of a Rubik's Cube. That's exactly what we want to have. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So now that we've extended the back of the hotel coming towards us, we now want to do exactly that again, except we just want to do it with this left-hand side that we have here. So what we've just done there, we now want to do the exact same thing just to this left-hand side. So just to show you what I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, we're doing it by 6. We're extending it coming towards us by 6 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, we then just want to connect each one of those 6 blocks together. So that's what we want to do to the left-hand side. Except we kind of don't. We also want to do that. Once you've done that once, by the way, guys, you then want to do it again. So once you've got like this first little extension where you've extended every single block by 6, you're then going to want to do literally the exact same thing, which is what we're going to hop right into once we've finished connecting all of these bits together. So what we're essentially going to end up with is like an L shape, as you guys can see. We're kind of shaping up. I suppose it's kind of an L already. Or a J. No, that's an L. I get them confused sometimes. They're so similar. We already have an L shape. We're kind of like forming a corner shape. So once you've done that once, guys, once you've extended that left-hand side coming towards you once, you then want to do literally the exact same thing again. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My god, look at that. I wasn't too far off at all, was I? And then all of the others. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And whoops, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm all over the place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wish I didn't have to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, we then just want to connect them together. I wouldn't have counted out 6 so many times, guys, if I could actually trust myself to get the right amount of blocks in the row. Otherwise, like I tried doing earlier, I really don't want to count out the same number about 50 times in a row. But otherwise, I'd end up with such a misshapen section of hotel, it wouldn't be recognizable. So we're just connecting everything together, guys. And once we have, we can then add the next 2 bits of the framework, which will then complete the framework, and then that'll be that, and then we've just got a load of filling in to do. So what you want to end up with, and let's just look at the inside, what you want to end up with is something that should look exactly like this, guys. It's just like a 90-degree angle. It's just a nice corner shape like this. Now, once you've formed this shape, and obviously pause this if necessary, if you're still working on any of this, of course, what you want to do once you form this shape is this. So come all the way to the top center part of the hotel. You're looking for this block here and this block here. It's kind of just like on top of the middle section of the back of the hotel. Well, on top of each one of these blocks, you want to go on top of each one of those quartz blocks by 7 with your quartz. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then connect each one of those 7 blocks together like that. And then you want to take each one of those 7 blocks and you want to extend them coming towards you, each by 6. So coming towards the front of the hotel, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then connect each one of those 6 blocks together, of course. And then what you then want to do is you then want to connect each one of those 6 blocks to the ground. One of those blocks will connect to the higher portion of the hotel, and the other one of those blocks will connect all the way down to the ground like this. So you kind of just want to have a very central, very middle shaped part of your hotel right there. Once you form that shape, this is what you want to do next, guys. So come to the front of your hotel. You want to come all the way down to this bottom right hand corner of the extension that you made ever so slightly earlier, and going right of this block, and we need to get rid of that one, and going right of this corner block, you want to do this sequence of blocks. Do 5 block of quartz going right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you want to go up by 2, 1, 2. You then want to go right by 2, 1, 2. You then want to go down to the ground, like that. You then, from this block that touches the ground, want to go right by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then want to take a sideways view to what you've just made, and then you want to replicate what you've just made. So going right of this block, you want to go right by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I really wasn't that far off with these blocks. Then you want to go up on top of that 5th block by 2, 1, 2. Then right by 2, 1, 2. Then down by 2. And then you want to go right until you connect all the way to the other side of your hotel. So you want to end up with this shape. And those are just the 2 entrances. And what you then want to do is, starting from this block right here, coming to the front of the hotel again to the extension, looking for this block right here, you just want to go right of this block until you basically want to trace along the shape in the air of what you just made on the ground, which is a really silly way of explaining it, but I'm sure that you guys will be able to see what I'm talking about. So the kind of corner shape that we've just formed on the ground, you just want to form that exact same shape in the air, exactly like I've done there, if you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Hopefully you can. Hopefully it's not that difficult to see. And why is my nose just went stuffy all of a sudden? I think I might be dying, guys. So once you form that shape right there, you have actually done pretty much the entire framework of the hotel. Everything from here onwards is actually quite simple. So shall we get cracking, guys? Shall we fill this hotel in? Let's fill in all of the walls of the hotel, and then we'll see what we have to do next. So once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. So the first order of business that we have is we want to fill in all of the bottom sections of the hotel in with blue glass. So the entire bottom section, and it's very obviously split up into sections, so this entire like bottom quarter or however many there are there, we want to fill these bottom sections in these bottom panels in with blue glass. So we just want to go all the way around the hotel except for the back section, because we kind of did that already. And the reason that I filled in the bottom back section was to remind myself not to tamper with some of the rooms in regards to glass, which it may not seem like much to you, but it was kind of like a little mental cue. That's why I kind of like filled in that little back part with blue stained glass, just to remind me of something. So we're just filling in this entire bottom section with blue stained glass, as you can see. And not only do we want to fill in... Oh, I missed a block, look at that. Not only do we want the entire little bottom quarter, the entire little bottom section filled in with blue glass, but we also want to fill in this bit as well, just like above the entrance where we have like this big L shape. You also want to fill this in. Now, you don't want to fill in the entire thing. You don't want to like fill in inside of the, you know, the little middle section that we kind of formed, the really big bit, the bit that's like bigger than any other part of the hotel. You just want to leave that little section alone. You don't want to fill that in at all, but everywhere around it you can proceed to fill in with blue glass, which is exactly what we're doing here. So you want to end up with something that should look exactly like this. Perfect, guys. Nothing too difficult about that whatsoever. Now, I think that we should probably fill this middle section in first before we move anywhere else. So, this middle section, guys, we just want to fill this in entirely with blue stained glass itself. And we actually want the center of it, like this bit, like in the middle, we want this bit to be maneuverable, so we don't really want to fill this in, and that's why we didn't fill this in. But all of the walls around it we can fill in with blue stained glass. The only bits that you don't want to fill in with blue stained glass, again, other than like the floors, you also don't want to fill in like these parts, like the bits that would lead on to the different floors of the hotel. You don't want to fill those bits in, so we're just busy filling this in with blue stained glass, and I believe we have the other side to do for the most part as well. Yeah, we've got a few rows to do on this side. We also have the top of it to fill in, the top of this shape. It's kind of like a spire or something, or a watchtower maybe, so we've got that to fill in. And we've also got these bits on the inner sides, we've got these to fill in, plus the top bit like I already said. And then we can figure out where the balconies are for each of the individual floors, which is actually quite easy. And then we will have to fill the rest of this thing in with blue stained glass, and then we'll have to add in the floors individually and things like that. So what you want to end up with, guys, is something that should look exactly like this. That entire center part wants to be filled in with blue stained glass. Perfect, that's exactly what we want. Now, once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. So, on the right hand side and on the front of your hotel, we have these two like sticking out wings of the hotel. What these actually are balconies for each one of the rooms of the hotel, and what you want to do here is you just want to do white stained glass pane going all the way around of each one of those sticking out parts like this. So just go all the way around with your white stained glass pane like that. And you not only want to do that obviously to the first one, but you want to do it to the second, third, and that's how many there are, 3 on each side of your hotel. So we've actually just about finished this side, and I believe that the white stained glass pane is actually lighting up the blocks as I placed it. It's almost as if it's got its very own light source. That's actually kind of cool. Can you see it light up? That's kind of fantastic. So you want to do that not only to the right hand side of the hotel, but you also want to do the exact same thing to the left hand side. So I'm going to do that, and I think I might just do like each side, like this is like the inside. I might just do that row going up vertically, and then I'll do the front, and then I've got the opposite side to do as well. And once we finish doing this, we can then proceed to fill the rest of the hotel in. Just full stop, we can proceed to fill the rest of the hotel in. So what you want to do is exactly that. You just want to go all the way around each one of the balconies with your white stained glass pane. Not too difficult whatsoever, I hope, for you guys. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So all you have to do now is, as you guys can see on the left hand side of your hotel and on the back of the hotel, we've got to fill in each one of these 6 middle sections in with blue stained glass, which is exactly what we're going to do now. And you don't have to use blue stained glass if you don't want, guys. If you'd think that your hotel clients would like a little bit more privacy, if you think that they would like some sort of solid color, maybe some quartz or what have you, feel free to fill them in with whatever material of choice you actually want. I just went with blue stained glass for a reason. As you look at the hotel from the front, let me show you. As you look at the hotel from the front, you guys can see quite clearly like the blue stained glass in the background there, right? Well, if you put up like quartz in the back, it just doesn't look as good in my opinion. It looks a little weird, so that's why I'm using blue glass, just so that the overall hotel looks pretty good. But I suppose if you were going for realism, you probably wouldn't want a see-through hotel. You have no idea what's going to be going on there, so that's kind of a personal decision, and it doesn't really take too long to correct, because even if you were going to do that to like these sides, I would still keep the bottom of the hotel and the outer parts of the hotel as they were. It'd just be these 12 individual little rectangular sections that I would change if you were so bothered, but that's just me. So we're just filling this side in, and of course we're going to have to do the balcony entrances as well, but what you want to have on the back of your hotel and the side of your hotel is something that should look exactly like this, guys. Perfect, that's exactly what you want to have. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So, what we now want to do is, coming onto each one of the entrances of the balcony, if I can get my words out, guys, onto each one of the entrances of the balcony, we just have to form little entrances, and they should look, each one of them, exactly like this. Nothing difficult about that whatsoever, guys. That's exactly how they should look. I know they look a little goofy, but that's how they should look. That's how it is. So you want to do that to each one of the entrances onto the balcony. So anywhere where you place like the white stained glass pane, you're going to want to do one of these. So there should just be 3 on each side that should look exactly like this. And what you also want to do is you want to do blue stained glass just like around each one of the entrances, just as I'm doing now. So just do blue stained glass around each one of the entrances, and you obviously don't have to bother for that bottom section there, for the very bottom. So that's the left hand side done. We now want to do the exact same thing to the right hand side here. So for the right hand side, we just want to do the exact same thing. We just want to do an entrance on top of each one of these right here. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Boom. We've also got some blue stained glass to add. And once we've done that, there we go, boom. Once we've done that on both sides of our hotel, and obviously pause this if necessary, of course, we then need to fill in the top portion of the hotel. So just coming all the way up to the top of the hotel, all we have to do now is obviously like fill in this big giant L shape in with blue stained glass. So filling at the top, use blue stained glass, or if you don't want to use blue stained glass, you could quite obviously use whatever material you really want to. Quartz would work, white stained glass would work, regular glass would work, any number of materials that you would actually like, you can use to fill in the top of the hotel. And that's kind of what I've been, well, I suppose I've not done it very well with this particular build, but the whole point of these things is that you kind of customize them, you kind of tweak here and there, even the shape if you want to, the shape, the colors, the materials. And the point is that you kind of tweak it how you actually want it. Obviously you might like this, but maybe you'd like something about it better, maybe you'd like it ever so slightly bigger. But as you can see, guys, we have now filled in at the top of the hotel with our glass, and that leaves us with this, which is perfect, guys. So guys, that is the structure of the hotel, 100% fully complete. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to go off recording, I'm going to tamper with the inside of the hotel and probably the outside of the hotel just a little bit, guys, and I'm going to show you what you could do to this place if you invested a little bit of time in it. So I'm going to add in all of the floors, I'm going to probably add some sort of reception area, I'm going to add a stairway which will take us to each one of the floors, and I will probably also do something to the outside of it a little bit as well. So I'll be back once I've done all of those things, guys, and I probably won't be tutorialing the next part since that's a structure 100% complete, but I will show you what you can do. Alright guys, so I have tampered with the inside and the outside of the hotel ever so slightly. I've really not done too much, but I figure I should show you guys anyway. So let's take a look, shall we? I've actually done less work to the interior than I have done the exterior. So for the interior, I obviously, first of all, just replaced the floor. I decided to replace it with some nice quartz to keep with the theme of the hotel. I also added kind of like a little welcome desk in here. That's what this is supposed to be, although you may not be able to tell so much, but that's what it's supposed to be. I also added like a little bit of a waiting area sort of thing in the corner here. I really wasn't too sure what to actually add into this place. It's not that there's not enough room or anything. I mean, you can kind of add whatever you want down here. I just really wasn't too sure what to add, so I added like a little reception desk, a little waiting area here, and for this middle part, I turned it into kind of like just a staircase, just staircase upon staircase upon staircase. So let's move up to the other floor, shall we? And it is a little cramped keeping the stairs in here as well, by the way, but you know, it's a bit of a necessity. So this is the first floor. This is supposed to be a room all by itself, and it's got 2 balconies. And again, I really wasn't too sure what to actually add into these. I mean, there's plenty of room to add what you want, and you can customize this a little bit. Like if you wanted the entrance to be here and you wanted to close up this bit, then you could, and then I suppose it's a little bit more hotel-like, then you know, you kind of could. But I wanted to kind of have like a nice big open entrance and kind of have everything open, but because I did that, then it made it difficult to actually figure out where I could put like a bathroom or something like that. Plus the fact that there's 2 like entrances onto like the little terraces, onto the little balconies, it kind of made it a little weird adding like a bathroom that would lead directly onto like the balcony. But then again, I'm sure that some hotels are probably set up like this. Anyway, again, there's plenty of room to do whatever you want in these little miniature rooms, but I really wasn't sure what to add, so don't take this as like, oh, this is all you can throw in here. I'm sure you can be a lot more creative. I'm just really bad at interiors is the moral of the story, and we can keep going up and up and up onto the floors, and I didn't even really bother with this second floor. I'm just showing you guys how it's sort of set out. It's like all of the staircases are confined to this middle section. The floor is made out of blue stained glass, and as are the walls here. And the stairs, I wanted to use quartz stairs. Obviously, they're the only real choice. And there you go. Here we are on the... I suppose this would be like the little penthouse suite. I suppose that's what this would be. But again, I've not really messed about with the interior too much. I suppose I put the most amount of work into like the little reception area down at the bottom. And that's just, guys, I'm bad at interiors. That's what it is. But I'm sure that there's plenty of room to do whatever you'd like to do. And on the outside, I actually did a little more. So let's take a look at this, shall we? So we'll take a nice little 360-degree view tour, shall we? So I decided to add a few sets of palm trees going all the way around the hotel. That's what they're supposed to be, guys. I don't know if you can tell that's what they are, but they're like some improv palm trees that I decided to make. They don't look great, but I mean, you can kind of tell that they're supposed to be them, can't you? I also added like, it's supposed to be a little bit of a road going all the way around the hotel, but it doesn't massively look like that. I also added on the back corner a nice big fountain, and I will say that I do like the fountain. I do like something that I did to the hotel. The fountain, I think, looks pretty cool. Pretty easy to make as well. I'm not sure if you want to replicate the fountain, I mean, I'm not sure if you'd be able to make it just by looking at it. It might be a little complicated, especially with the water in there, but I'm sure that you'd be able to get somewhere close. But I like the fountain that I had on the back of the hotel. I did originally have it on the front, but it covered up too much of the hotel, so I decided to go with the palm trees. But I kind of just decided to dig around the area. I decided to place some cyan stained clay, kind of like as paving / road. The palm trees obviously make it look a little bit cooler, a little bit classier, and we have the big giant fountain at the back. I was going to add in some pools and stuff, but I decided that I kind of do that on most houses anyway, so I figured I'd go a little bit different for the hotel, and that's where we've ended up, guys. That's what I've done to the inside and the outside. Like I said, the inside really isn't an accurate representation of what you can actually get done with the interior. It's just that I'm just really bad at it. I'm just really bad at interiors. I really didn't know what to do with that, and I'm sure that you guys will be able to come up with a lot more interesting and creative ideas than I did. So hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you managed to make it. It's pretty easy to build, and if you did like it, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could give me a like, favorite, share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out. I would really appreciate. I'd be willing to make some more larger-ish buildings if you guys want me to. I'd be willing to try a few other varieties of hotels. I decided to go with modern since it was like the easiest to make and easiest to make a tutorial for. But again, if you liked it, I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a like, favorite, share. Again, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, I would just really appreciate it, guys. I love it when you show me love. I wouldn't have made this unless you suggested it, so I'd appreciate some love back. Feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my various house tutorial playlists and such like that. If you like this, you'll definitely like some of the stuff in there as well. Feel free to comment, let me know what would you like to see next, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.